I go over to the business blunder of the day. You have Hyundai needs professional login just to change the brake pads. Now, this project was thanks to thedrive.com, specifically Andrew Collins. And he says, quote, replacing brake pads on a Hyundai Ioniq 5N requires a professional mechanic's login. And he says, quote, electrical vehicles are generally mechanically simpler than gas-burning cars, but maintaining them can be an annoying challenge due to coding. There you can see the vehicle pictured there, which it kind of looks neat and unique. It's a lot of angular. It's almost like origami. And they say, quote, 2025 Hyundai Ioniq 5 owner was venting on Reddit recently about not being able to change his brake pads without specialized computer equipment. It sounds insane, but this is what new car ownership is like in 2025. We did some digging and made contact with Hyundai to understand the situation and break it down for you. They say it's a frustrating one. They say having to talk to computers to fix a car isn't necessarily unique to the Korean automaker, but I fell down the rabbit hole of Hyundai maintenance research here, so that'll be our focus of context today. They say context for casual readers, brake pad and rotor replacements are super basic car maintenance. You don't need to have a job really. You won't need to do the job nearly as often on electric cars thanks to regenerative braking, but EV pads still don't last forever. On most cars, part of the job involves disconnecting and retracting the parking brake, which usually grabs the rear wheels. Many modern cars and all EVs have electronic parking brake controlled by a computer signal. I hate those stupid things with a passion. I like the old style parking brake, you just crank up. Nevertheless, they say, quote, rather than a manually adjusted nut and cable situation, that's what sparked a Redditor justifiable frustration. You'd see what they took from us. I have that stupid little, even my Honda has it, I hate it. The stupid little parking switch, almost like a window switch basically, as opposed to a good old handle you just yank up and worked. They say, one more piece of stage setting, since electronic parking brakes are indeed common, many readily available diagnostic tools can issue a retract brake command in the car's ECU. Still, you do need to get one with bi-directional text functionality. Remember that point, it'll become significant in a few paragraphs. Which, yeah, this is why I hate so many modern vehicles so much. And they say, apparently no cheap scanner option worked on the original Reddit poster's Ioniq 5N. That led into a journey of attempting to access commercial-grade car repair equipment, which is ultimately fruitless. Yeah. Depending on what the car manufacturer is, some of them have laptops that are like, well, glorified laptops with their software installed and diagnostics tools that are like $6,000 to $15,000. It's disgustingly comical. They say, quote, you can access a Hyundai's EV diagnostics brand using a brand's proprietary dealership hardware and software. It's called GDS and is publicly available to buy. It costs about $6,000, of course, or a third-party aftermarket system running J2534 program. It is an interface standard designed by SAE and mandated by the EPA that basically ensures ECUs from different car brands can speak the same language for the sake of independent repair shops. Here you can see one of those fancy computers there. Hyundai supports J2534 and recommends one of 3 machines for taking it to cars. RDAC plus 3 costs $2,000. MTS 6531 about $2,000, and D-Bridge Pro about $800. Under no circumstances do we recommend and use non-approved J2534 devices. The company states you would have to have a subscription to Hyundai's diagnostic tool software, which costs $60 per week if you want to use the dealer one. They say all of this info is in PDFs linked to Hyundai's tech portal. At this point, about spending $2,000 on tools, you would be able to service your own Hyundai Ioniq brakes. But if you're a DIYer or DIY do-it-yourselfer, you still can't. Written in the red at the top of one of the Hyundai's tech documents is this: access to bidirectional tests and special functions require diagnostics professional or vehicle security security professional credit from NASTF. They say that's the National Automotive Service Technicians Task Force. Exists to identify and resolve gaps in service information, tool information, and trainings between OEM and independent shops. It's also the arbiter of things like lock coding and car credential management. To get scan tool validation as a member, you need to be a professional mechanic, of course. And with the final roadblock, you confirm that no DIYer can do their own brakes on Hyundai Ioniq 5N. I'm guessing most of you reading this have thought the same thing I does. It does seem smart to have some regulation, no, about sensitive data like codes to your car locks, but what the heck? You should be able to do your brake pads on your own. Or does Randy Marshall from South Park not say, I'm sorry, this is America? Used to be. Actually, I also dropped Hyundai a note about this directly, and here's what the automaker told us. We hate you. You guys are morons. We don't trust you. Okay, I made that up. Hyundai didn't say that precisely. What they said was, quote, Hyundai is committed to supporting both our dealer network and independent repair facilities with safe, secure, and accessible service solutions. For vehicles equipped with electronic parking brakes, including the Ioniq 5 The IOC 5N and the official repair procedure requires placing the rear calipers in service mode by using either the global diagnostic system or the J2534 application. This ensures proper functionality and customer safety. Hyundai recently expanded the access through an update to our J2534 application, enabling the aftermarket users to perform functions previously restricted by GD Secure Gateway, while authentication through NHTSA is required for sensitive operations. This step helps maintain security and accountability. Our official dealer tool also is available for purchase by anyone. Yeah, for the cost of a used car. Hyundai is actively supporting ways to make routine maintenance easier for all. Bullshit. Pardon the French. They continue to say, quote, we appreciate the interest in DIY repairs and will continue to work towards solutions that balance convenience and security. Or just get rid of that stupid parking brake thing. Just give us an old pull handle. I hate, that's one of the few things on my car I hate is that stupid little parking switch. Just stupid. Now they say, quote, after all that, we can address the Reddit thread with Hyundai declares war on right to repair as technically incorrect. I'll let that sink in. Bullcrap. Right to repair legislation prevents, they say, right to repair legislation prevents product manufacturers from hiding technology away from behind proprietary diagnostics tools. This stuff is not restricted to the brands of equipment. So technically, I think the company is in the clear of the rules as written. You also had a layer of clarification to Car Scoop's post when the headline was apparently you need Hyundai's permission to change your own brake pads. Without the permission, you need that bullshit regulatory body. They say, however, obviously both Car Scoops and the guy on Reddit were totally right in principle. A car repair task has historically been totally DIY, and drivable is not regulated to a shop line because the technology is not good. We focused on Hyundai here because that was a particular Reddit thread that caught my eye and sent me the research to question this particular brand, but they are no means the only company that does this. Which, spoiler, Honda does this, which I hate. Honda, which I love most of my Honda Civic Si, awesome vehicle overall, same crap. The rear brakes, you can't change the pads because you have to put in service mode, which should just be a button on your damn dashboard. If you have to have the electronic rear brakes to begin with, which I don't think you should, in terms of the parking brake crap. So my car, the dealer wants, how much they want? Like $180 to change the brake pads per axle, which is highway robbery. I understand they have overhead, and they have some good people who work there, and I like some of them, don't get me wrong. I can't but think the reason they do this crap is to lock you and I in to go to the dealership, or spend a tool that costs, I don't know, the price of a used Mazda Miata. Not that there's anything wrong with a used Mazda Miata, great vehicle, great bang for your buck. But again, it's one of my biggest pet peeves about my car. The front pads, the front rotors, you can all do that easily. Because again, you don't have these stupid little parking brake for the front pads, for the front brakes. So you can switch those out of my car just fine. But again, if I want to do the rear pads, I have to put it in service mode so they'll retract it. Now, a technicality, I thought I'll go into it. Technically, if you want to do it manually, which you're a pain in the ass, but you can unbolt the brake calipers and manually actuate the motor to make them retract the pads. But again, that's something you have to worry about. Well, you get more steps, more complexity, then you have to worry about torquing everything back to the right spec. It's extra steps that should not need to exist. It is technically possible to do it without the computers. Pain in the ass, I don't recommend it. And there's, again, no real reason why in the little infotainment screen that can do all the magical stuff in the world, you can't just have an extra button that says put it in service mode. That would retract the rear brakes. Make it a lot easier to work on. And this is why I'm almost reminiscing on, if I ever am privileged to have another car in my life, man, I wouldn't mind getting like maybe a 2000s era Honda S2000 or some Porsche or something where you can actually work on it yourself. The actual brakes, the rear brakes are just a pull handle. Or if you want to just say screw the parking brake altogether, if you have a stick shift, just park it in first gear. But yeah, this is, again, Hyundai's not alone. Just said how Honda does it as well. Many other brands as well. I almost want to say Hyundai, but also the automotive industry, certainly the business blunder of the day. Thank you everyone for taking the time to tune in today. Again, try to get to 6,000 subscribers by the end of the month, so click that button. I greatly appreciate it. Also, give me a thumbs up, thumbs down, or comment. It's a great way to give me some additional feedback, letting me know how to make the show better and better. Lastly, don't forget to take time to tell your family, tell your friends, tell your coworkers, heck, tell your enemies, anyone, everyone. Just stay safe and fight the good fight.